Thanks everyone for joining the event today. With us here is Miss Tracy Garley, the CEO of GoFundHer, an organization that helps gather financial support for female entrepreneurs, and it is based in New York City. Miss Garley has a multicultural background since she originally from Liberia and moved to Africa at the age of 11, and she embraced the cultures or the beauty of West Africa heritage in her lifestyle brand, Zappa. Again, I want to emphasize to you guys that this is the first event ever in the series of Black Lives Research and Action Engagement that aims to promote the diversity at Brooklyn College. And I'm Professor Pham. I hope that at this point in time, my students already know who I am. My name, Alice. I will be the host today, and co-host with me are the excellent students from the IBA Club, Savara, Helen, and Jenny. This event is sponsored by the Brooklyn College Wolf Institute for the Humanities.
Everyone, my name is Helen. I am a senior at Brooklyn College studying business administration with a concentration in international business.
Hi everyone, my name is Savara. I'm a sophomore in the Macaulay Honors Program. I'm a biology and psychology major in the pre-med track.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and I'm a senior at Brooklyn College, double majoring in marketing management and business management. And we're all part of IBA, so I think we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the webinar, but thank you guys all for being here today, and special shout out to Tracy for speaking about this super important topic.
Yes. Now we give the stage back to Miss Tracy. I'm so excited, please.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Brooklyn College, and definitely Sydney. Thank you so much for having this. It's really important about, especially with diversity, because diversity do matter. And with this topic, why funding for girls and women is important, because it's so important for girls and women to receive funding and to just start living their dreams. Like Sydney said in my bio, I'm originally from West Africa, Liberia. So it's funny, in December will be my 20th year anniversary in America. So I came here when I was 11 years old, and I'm 31 now, and just actually living at home. Detroit, Michigan was where I've been. It's been amazing. Special thanks to my mom. She's online right now. And also my father. I have two amazing parents who sacrificed so much for me to be here today. And I just want to give them a shout out. And also for you guys, definitely listen to your parents, because they set that tone for you to go out there and chase your dreams, regardless of what people might say, regardless of your age or how you look, if you're a female or a male. It's important just for us to just listen to our parents, and which brought me to why City Girls Big Dreams got started. For my 25th birthday, my parents gifted me our store business called Zarkpas, which was my grandmother's name. And back in 2014, I started this retail store. And for my birthday, I remember my mom, she asked me what I wanted for my 25th birthday. And I told her we should move the store to Detroit, Michigan. The store was at that time in Inkster. So I saw this vision of Detroit just coming alive. I was 24 at the time, 2013, and I was about to be 25. So especially to women out here, when you're becoming a certain age, like 25, that's a big age. Like, you're learning so much about yourself. You want to learn also how you can help your community. And a lot of people talk about helping community, but they really don't help our community, especially coming from minorities community in a city like Detroit, Michigan. So I grew up in Michigan between 2000 to 2008. Every negative thing that you can think about, people said about Detroit. And I went to a Detroit public school called Western International High School. And I had a woman principal. Her name was Miss Rebecca Lona. And I just remember Miss Lona being so active on us, especially just girls. It's like, okay, are you going to class? Are you playing sports? Are you also involved? And just having that woman leadership, that's women empowerment right there. Miss Rebecca Lona definitely opened the way for me to dream big at Western International High School. So I knew I wanted to go to college because I had my mom being from Africa. Yes, it's true. African parents do not play because we come from a third world country and we come to a country where people tell you your dreams are all the American dreams at that time is you got to live the American dreams. But what about your dreams? So my parents definitely instilled that in me to be confident and let me know you can do anything if you put your mind to it. So at the age of 15, 16, I already had it in my head. And I remember graduating from Western International High School. I went to Michigan State, and I've met some of my lifelong friends at Michigan State. And just having those connections in college, I remember going to classes like you guys, and now you guys are here on a Zoom call. Things got to go on, right? You got to live your life, and you also have to have connection with other people. I say all this to say, graduating from Michigan State was something that some people never saw happening because when I'm a Black woman, I'm from Detroit. I remember going back to my high school when somebody asked me, "Oh, you're not pregnant yet." And I was like, actually, I do have a baby. And that baby is Zarkless, which was my business. And she was shocked that I even said that. And this was my junior year in college. I remember my mom telling me, "Tracy, this business can be yours because you're going to a university that has 46,000 plus students and people. You have the skills of networking. You can tell people." So when my mom told me that, I started representing and promoting Zarkless. Everything I wore was Zarkless. And people would ask me, "Where did you get this from?" And I said, "Oh, I got it from my company, Zarkless." And I was learning how to become a CEO at a young age. And what I also noticed, it's funny how for funding, you can get loans to go to college, right? Especially anybody can get loans to go to college. But as a Black person and a Black woman to get business loans is very hard. You got to have good credit. You got to make sure you know somebody. You also have to make sure you have experience. And for me at that time, I was using my student loan to start my business, which is not good to do, but that's the only thing I had to start a business. As a Black woman, it's really hard to find funding. So Zarkless was started off saving half of my student refund check, paying my rent, and then applying it in the business. That was the business skills I was learning. And I also tell my friends that want to start businesses, how's your finance? If you don't have those connection of finances, honestly, your business is not going to make it. So fast forward to graduating from Michigan State and having Zarkless downtown. My parents gifted me in the business. We only had $15,000 to do a bailout in 2014. $15,000 is not a lot of money to do a store. Most store bailouts start off with $250,000 to $1 million. But as a Black woman, it's really hard to even go to the bank and get $20,000. But as a believer and a woman of God, if you want anything, you have to just write it down and believe in it and go after it. So that was where the mindset of City Girl Big Dreams grew. And when City Girl Big Dreams grew, I saw women coming to me and asking me for help. We had Zarkless. Women would be like, "Can I host a pop-up shop in your store? Can I host an event in your store?" And I used that platform to help girls and women, which brought it from GoFundHer with my partner. We came together. If you love her and support her, go fund her. So people talk about supporting girls and women. However, they really don't want to support us. They want girls and women to beg for $1. And with this platform, you can donate to girls and women without these women having to beg no more. Because some women are very afraid to even ask for money. And they feel like, "Oh, I feel like they're not going to give it to me." So for example, I have my friend Bianca B. She has a project on GoFundHer.com. And it's called BFS Cosmetics. So it's a makeup line. And she's actually dropping it out November 17th on her birthday. So you guys make sure to check out that project. I remember moving to New York last year and we met up and I was telling her about GoFundHer.com. And I knew she was the right person for this because I've been following Bianca since she was 16. And I seen her drive and I just seen how she liked helping other people. So I told her about GoFundHer.com and she literally created her account that same day. And she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna work on my project." And within the summer last year, she launched her project on GoFundHer.com. So GoFundHer.com is not just a company to say, oh, we want to get money. No, we want to help girls and women because it's hard for girls and women to receive funding. And this platform give it and make it a direct access for girls to go and create this project in their profile page, and women all over the world can use GoFundHer.com. So I'm excited to be here today just to tell you guys the journey is not easy. I'm still on this journey. Also, just having our internship program with City Girl Big Dreams is also helping girls and women know GoFundHer.com is definitely the lifeline that is needed for girls and women, because people can donate to you not just one time, but multiple times, and also set up a monthly donation. And as low as $1, you can donate to any sponsor page or also any profile pages. And the amazing thing with GoFundHer.com, you don't need a sponsor page to receive donation. You can just create your profile page and people will start donating to you. And I wanted, when we was working with the developers, as a woman, I want women to be private. Our privacy matters. Just because I'm asking for $50,000 to start a company doesn't mean you have to know. I have to know who's giving it to me. If you read my sponsor page and tell me, oh, this is a nice sponsor page, I would donate $50,000 to you, but I don't want you to know who I am. Some people already don't want to know who they're giving the money to. We turn everything to digital, from our dream sessions to our team meetings to working together and just opening our Google Suites. And with this virtual internship, I wanted to create a platform for girls and women to use so they can gain experiences to go to the big companies and start working. And we actually have one of our intern who graduated over the summer. She also went to Brooklyn College. She went to Brooklyn College and graduated last year. Her name is Leah Sinclair. So Leah Sinclair was actually one of our GoFundHer social media manager. And she worked with us from June, I want to say the end of June all the way till actually 2 weeks ago, she just left the company. She did the 3 months internship, and then we also have our management training internship. And now Leah has a job with one of my friends, my good friends from Detroit. She has a company called Our Social PR, and Leah is the Our Social PR manager. So GoFundHer and City Girl Big Dreams is just beginning to start helping girls and women all over the world. And I'm just excited to be here with Brooklyn College to tell you guys the sky is the limit. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. And also just have family and friends to support you, and also be open to work with other people, because you're only one person and your dream will not come true if you just think you can do everything by yourself, because you need other people to help you make those dreams come true.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tracy, for the wonderful speech. You open our eyes, and especially for girls out there who want to start their career and also, want to become successful and feel scared. So this is a very brave journey that you've been through. So now I want to turn the floor to my co-hosts who want to lead the discussion with question and answers from my students. Jenny, Savara, and Helen, please.
What difficulties did you face when pursuing your entrepreneurship career?
Ooh, I'm still facing those, honestly. But it's a few, especially being a woman. And then being a woman of color, one of the most difficult challenge I have faced is people not taking me seriously. They just think, oh, you just want to talk. Especially with City Girl Big Dreams, when I first started this brand, it was my vision, and other people really didn't see the vision. And to execute that vision, I had to really sit down by myself and really write down those vision, and then apply it by helping other people and telling them, okay, I have my City Girl Big Dream executive boards. So these are women that I personally know. I know what kind of dreams they want to work with. Like our vice president, her name is Arian Foster, and she was actually one of my interns when I used to run Zarkbus. So these experiences that I've used, those people telling me no, I just know it's another stepping stone for me to go to the top with other people, like my family and my friends. And just being a woman, it's hard. People are going to shut you down the moment you walk in with an idea. Those are just some of the obstacles that come in your life, because 3 months later, Black Enterprise did an article about GoFundHer. We was in Afro Tech. We was in different articles, and we kept growing where we're going to be helping girls and women all over the world.
From your experience in both New York and Detroit, what's the number one piece of advice you would give future entrepreneurs?
You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in your dreams and your goals, and never take an off day. We can't be off, because one off day make you slack back to like 15 to 20 days or even a month. You don't always have to be just working. So building that schedule and being consistent, where it's like you just build it, it's a part of your life. So you become this change that you create. It just become, you see the changes, you see different things that's happening around you, and your business going to start growing, because people are going to see how consistent you've been. So just being consistent is the number one advice I would say.
Thank you so much, Tracy. We have another question in the chat from Johnny. His question is, how would you describe the learning process of managing a business at an early age?
You have to be open to advice from other people. And you have to be willing to accept change, because in a business, nothing's going to stay the same. And we all know that, especially from now, especially with COVID. You just have to be willing to help other people too, and willing to take advice. Because with me, leadership for me is a learning experience every day, because I'm not thinking what my team are thinking. So it's good for us to have those meetings and for us to bounce off idea of each other and just help each other, be open-minded. And for me, especially being in the food industry and then being in the fashion and now being in technology, this is my second year in technology, and I'm learning every day, like literally, from analytics to SEOs to coding to even PR. It's so much, and it's like, wow, life is just all about learning. So once you open about learning, you make your job easier. It don't be as easy, but it gets to a point where you're like, okay, my management skills is getting better, especially if I'm taking advice and learning and actually applying those. Somebody cannot just give you advice and you just set it down. You have to actually execute those. And once you start executing, you start seeing the changes in yourself and your business.
Tracy, what is your drive? Like, what keeps you going? Who keeps you motivated? And on those days where you feel like quitting, what really helps you push through? Because I know, like many of us, we're all, trying to figure out this thing called life. But I know sometimes one thing that we all have in common is our struggles to keep going. So, again, what is your main factor, like your drive?
It's a lot of things that drive me, though. Honestly, I would say one would be my mother. My mom is one of the hardest working women I know. She had me as a teenager mother, and losing her parents and seeing how she had to grow up to take care of me and her 3 brothers, that really just drive me. And I can't wait to build her house and be like, Mom, I got you. You don't have to worry because you sacrificed so much. And I would just say being a representation for Black girls all over the world, because it's so hard for them. My mom and just little girls all over the world, and just women in general, because I remember just going to school in Detroit and seeing the city just being dark. But I knew one day I was going to be a voice for girls and women and be like, you can make it out that city, or you can make it out of whatever country they call shithole, because we started this. We want people to know we're not just here to work and not get paid. We're here to establish our dreams and help other people. So my drive is endless too, because it's every day I feel like I'm not even working hard enough. And I want to keep going for especially my sister. I have a little sister and I have other young girls that look up to me. And some days when I feel like I want to quit, those people are they're in my head. And I'm like, I just can't. I didn't come this far to come this far. So I know it's better days ahead. So that was a really good question. Sorry for me getting a little emotional.
It's okay. And I thank you for taking the honesty too, for saying what all, because I feel like that's one thing that we all, I think on this line have in common. We're faced with so many challenges, right? And our main thing is to try to get through that. And I know that, you know, deep down inside, we all have that fire to want to do better. And I believe that we all can do better. It just all starts with us and within. But, you know, thank you for the answer. Because like I said, I just really wanted to know what was your drive, because I feel like we all need something, you know, a little bit of light to kind of keep us going. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
My question is, what drew you to New York, Tracy?
I actually have an article out there. It's by Sway. So the name City Girls Big Dreams was actually, like I said, it was a vision from God that I received back in 2013. And with my friends, like when they know me, I'm a very bubbly person. I always like to bring people together. So with that name, City Girl Big Dreams, I always had this vision when I was younger, and my mom, she's probably gonna laugh at this, but I wanted to be a model when I was younger back in Africa. But coming to the States, of course, you have to be 7 or 8 and up, and you have to be very skinny and do this and that. So I remember telling my mom, she was like, you need to focus on going to school and doing this first. It's not like she was against it or wasn't against it, but she was just like, focus on school first. So I was like, okay. But I always had this little dream in my head to come to New York. And when I got City Girls Big Dreams, the vision, I was like, okay, that's going to be my ticket to New York one day. But I never told too many people. And I remember when I was getting ready to move to New York, I really didn't tell too many people, because I knew I was coming here to work on $1 billion company with GoFundHer and City Girl Big Dreams. So that was a dream of mine that literally just came true. And I packed my bags, bought a one-way ticket. September 6th, 2019, I moved here. And when I moved here, I just got on the road. That was like, 6 months before COVID. So I got to live in New York City. I actually lived in like almost the 5 different boroughs. My first place was the Bronx, Flatbush, then I went to Manhattan, and then I'm living in Queens. So I got to see New York in so many ways. And what really just drove me to New York was my dreams and helping other women live their dreams. And I think having that vision from God and just believing in God and just letting Him lead me actually just made it worth it coming to New York. It was not easy, but I'm glad I stayed, and I can't wait to just inspire other girls and women all over the world.
You came from the toughest places in the world.
Pretty much. I want people to know you can make it no matter where you come from. So thank you for that.
What are some ways you promote your company?
So thanks for asking that question. That's one of the reasons why we created the virtual internship. So our virtual internship, we have interns that start in with our social media interns. We have our grant writer interns. We have our YouTube interns. And then we also have our PR interns. So with all these different departments, I host different interns in those departments. And we have weekly meetings of ways to do different strategies for our social media accounts, like our LinkedIn, our Facebook, our Twitter, too. So having all these different interns and just letting them use their skills on these platforms are some ways that we promote the business. And of course, with more capital that will come, we'll love to do billboards and also partnership with other like-minded companies and doing more speaking engagements with universities like you guys. So for me being the first person for this speaking event, this is also going to be the first event for GoFundHer and City Girl Big Dreams, and we're going to expand to different universities and also different big companies to let them know why is it important for girls and women to receive funding.
How important was it for you to display Africa and more specifically Liberia in your business/brand?
I'll tell you guys a little story because it was really important. And it didn't come about until, of course, when I became when I was turning after 25. So I remember I had moved out my parents' house, and I was just, I would say, I guess, soul searching, basically trying to find out who is Tracy, what do I want to offer the world, and what do I want my legacy to be? So I started doing more deep research about Liberia, and come to find out, in 1816, the American Colonization Society, the ACA, I've learned that President James Monroe at the time was president, and they had gave $100,000 to the ACS to go to Liberia, and that's where the land of free, and a lot of free slaves went back to Liberia. And Liberia was you had the Americanos, and then you had the people that was living in Africa, which was in Liberia, and also on my father's side was those family like from Grand-Jide, they was from Cote d'Ivoire, so they was already in Africa. So I'm learning all this at 25. And I'm like, wait a minute, why am I just selling purses and accessories when I can be selling my culture, authentic clothes? So I remember talking to my mom, like, Mommy, I want to just change Zarpa's. Instead of selling purses and accessories, I want it to be West African apparel because I want to showcase our country culture. And especially Detroit at the time was like 80% Black, and I was downtown. So I started selling the West African dashikis, and I started getting a really, really good response from people. And that's when I was like, you know what? It's going to be West African. And also I had launched my cooking company called Culture in the Bowl, which is the West African vegan catering company.
What you mentioned just now is very good that you mentioned it. Not having expectations is what will make you even more happier in the long run.
Yes.
Because you expecting it'll be like a bonus, I guess.
Exactly. And you might expect something, and if you don't get it, then you get really mad.
I've been there, done that. Who hasn't? As you get older and as you get wiser, you realize it more and more.
I was going to say something about Tracy that she didn't touch on is that she has tremendous amount of optimism, and she'll be like, Detroit may be a mess right now, but I'm not going to be a mess. And she just goes for it, and she doesn't let anything stop her. She doesn't let the messiness stop her. She always just thinks a little further. She's always just like, she just uses like adversity as her opportunity. And she did that with COVID. She was like, now we're in this virtual world. Let me start my internship program. Let me help other people. She's like, I don't care if we're in a global pandemic. Like, I am going to survive, and I'm going to create opportunity for myself. And she goes out and she finds that opportunity. So, you know, don't let this global pandemic stop you. There's so much to be found. And yeah, that's Tracy.
Only the strong keep standing.
Yes. Oh, Rivka, that was so nice. Thank you. I try. Got to keep going.
Rivka, I feel like your kind words to Tracy really speaks to her character, and I can just tell, like, you know, she's a really nice boss, and I feel like, you know, you guys are working for something so amazing because you are empowering women. So that leads to my question. So I feel like you're an inspiration to a lot of women who want to be entrepreneurs and want to be their own boss. So what is one piece of advice you would give to another woman who's starting their own business and, you know, like have no background or support? Like, what is one thing you would tell them to start with?
Which I don't want to advertise, but I would definitely say they can join City Girl Big Dreams organization, because this ecosystem is helping girls and women gain that confidence, like, you can do it. And I remember for me, when I started, it wasn't too many women in that too many women for me to even talk to. So my mom would be somebody that I talk to, and then my best friends and my friends. And sometimes I know they got tired of me because everything, my mom was just always about business. But just having that community and having that ecosystem is so important. So if that person, I would just say definitely contact City Girl Big Dreams, or even if you don't even know us yet, like, try to find or hang around people that kind of speaking the same language as you. Or also reading different articles about other women entrepreneurs and just listening to their experiences. Because when you're stepping out, it's not going to be an easy thing. People are going to look at you like you're crazy. People are going to be thinking like, what are you doing? You need to go and get a 9-to-5. You need to do this. But you have to be grounded into those people. So, and with City Girl Big Dreams, that's exactly what we're doing here with the executive board. Like, these women, I know them personally. Like, we have our etiquette director. Her name is Shimon. And we went to college together. And I remember 3 years ago, me and Shimon having a meeting about her tea company. It's called Pearl's Tea and Company. And she just launched this in the COVID. Because I remember talking to her doing the process of her website, when she was buying the tea, when she was making her labels. So just creating those women organization. And sometimes people say, oh, women are not friendly, or especially the women's at the top or the women that's making all this money. It's like, no, you just have to be yourself and write things down. When you write it down, the universe definitely going to bring it to you.
What do you like to do outside of work? Because it seems like you have done so much to grow your career, and we would like to know your hobbies outside of work.
So I have a few hobbies. I love to cook. That's something that I kind of like back in, I guess, being the oldest, and I have to cook for my siblings. But cooking, running has been one of my first love. I love to run. And I've been doing it now since I was in high school. I ran a track. So when I remember some days, I would just go for a run. And sometimes I would run like 5 miles. And people would be like, who is running? Who are you running from? And it's just something that it clears my mind. Like this morning, I ran like 2 miles, and I was just like, and it felt so good. So cooking, running. I used to like shopping, but I'm like, not really. So, but I do like to thrift. I think thrifting is one of the best things. And I've been doing that since college. So those are some of the things that I like to do. And just also randomly, but I would love random FaceTime with my friends and family. And then just honestly, right now, though, I just been focusing on GoFundHer City Great Big Dreams, and then just journaling. So I want to write a book. So for this year, I just been writing every day some random thoughts, and also some topics, and also just topics that's going on in the world.
How do you deal with stress or obstacles that come along the way, and how do you cope with that? What's your coping mechanism?
So the first one that I honestly do will pray. And when I pray, I will also just write it down and try not to think about it, because when you think about it, sometimes you have all this anxiety and it's like, okay, I'm like, God, it's in your hands. So once I do that, and I also try to do like things to make me happy, like face masks or running, or just calling a family or friend and checking up on them. Because I think too, sometimes in life, if we focus on ourselves too much, we forget like what life is all about, comparing to focusing on our family and friends and trying to figure out how is their life, like what they're doing. So with City Girl Big Dreams, we have our personal dream session. So those dream sessions for an hour, I get to talk to the interns. And even with my best friends, I always make fun with them. When we talk, I'm like, hey, okay, this is your personal dream session you just had with me. And we get really personal. Like, okay, so how are you doing? What do you want to focus on? Like, what's the next goal for your business or just for your life? And I think people need that in general, when you just really are in tune and really focus on somebody else and not yourself.
Awesome, Tracy. And I just want to wrap up this by asking one final question. What is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
Oh, actually, it's so funny. I've been an entrepreneur for like almost 7 years now. And I think 2020 has been the best years, the best one. And I think the favorite part is actually watching your dreams or anything that you wrote down come to life, and having other people, taking other people's idea and advice and using it for the platform. So right now, like our internship, I'm loving how our social media team, like they have their own meeting where I don't even have to be there no more. So that's one perks about being the CEO, because I get to focus on other things like events like this, or just focus on what the company needs with our developers, or focus on like how can we even put GoFundHer out there more. So it's been amazing. And I think people look at CEO just being like, oh, you just the chief executive officer. But it's no, I also look at myself as just a student as well. And I let my team, or let our investor, or let the founding members know everybody have a voice. It's not just me, because if I feel, everybody feel. But if I win, everybody wins. And if everybody give me their advice or give me ideas, I have to take that responsibility and make sure it brings the company together and make everybody know who we are. So being a CEO, and I'm still learning. So it's other things that I know is ahead of me in life. And I just want to take it one day at a time and learn from my mistakes, and also just take other people advice to how for me to get better.
Yeah, so this is it for the event. I want to thank Tracy and Rivka for joining us during their busy schedule. And I want to thank everyone in Professor Pham's class who joined us and learned so much about her career and her aspirations. And we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Time today, Tracy.
Yes, and also make sure you guys follow our company's GoFundHer on Instagram. It's _GoFundHer, and the website GoFundHer.com. Create an account, donate to somebody, support girls and women, because it's very important that we support these amazing women.
Yes, yeah, please stay connected with them because they mentioned they have a virtual internship. So networking is so important these days. So make sure you connect with Tracy and Rivka to learn more about their internship program.
Yes, if you definitely, Rivka will put her email address in the chat. And you guys can definitely email us. We are looking for new interns for 2020. So if you guys definitely want to learn some new skills about technology and just the social media world and how to just, give yourself more skills before you go out there in the real world, GoFundHer and City Girl Big Dreams are definitely open to that opportunity. And thank you so much, Sydney. I really appreciate this. This was really awesome.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for attending the event. I think I loved you more after this speech, and my students, my co-hosts, so excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the event today.
Everyone, have an awesome day.
Thank you. Bye.